Every year on 28th of July, the world observes World Hepatitis Day, and the theme for this year's topic is hepatitis. Let's break it down to understand various misinformation, gaps, and cost barriers which are preventing the patients from getting treated. So today we have with us Dr. Mithun Sharma and myself, Dr. Mansa, who will be discussing various aspects of hepatitis to have accurate information and up-to-date information. Let's talk about the various myths in viral hepatitis infections. I am infected with hepatitis A in childhood. Can I still be infected?
Yes, you can still be infected in adulthood.
I eat very clean food, clean water. Is it a possibility?
It's still a possibility because you don't know how your food handler is handling your food.
I have hepatitis A infection. Will I be needing liver transplantation?
The risk of liver transplantation or acute liver failure in hepatitis A is less than 1%. So it's a very small cohort of patients. So we should not panic, but we should definitely look for the warning signs.
I have suggestions from various family friends and my close friends who have suggested various herbal medications and a lot of detox solutions which will help us in decreasing jaundice. Is that true?
See, what we see in our patient population is that at a tertiary care center, we see a small people of patients who have taken herbal medicine, who worsen and come back. So, but to give a blanket statement that all herbal medicines will cause liver injury would be an overkill. But definitely there is no science behind recommending any of those herbal products at this point of time. Obviously, there's nothing called a liver detox. That is a myth.
Is there any dietary restriction in should I avoid turmeric?
So there's no dietary restriction. This is where the public makes the biggest mistake. The moment they develop jaundice or hepatitis, the person anyway has some loss of appetite, and then you start giving him boiled food, which is like yuck for everybody. Absolutely. So the patient stops eating. I tell my patients taking turmeric has not made you yellow. Neither am I against them consuming any non-veg food. But what I tell the patient is that there will be some food where the patient himself would say, I would not like to have. So I just restrict them to that food. Otherwise, anything that the patient is comfortable can be taken. In fact, he should be having a more nutritious food, because by cutting down food, the more likelihood that he will become weak and end up in the hospital.
Many believe low calorie intake is better and restriction. Is that true?
No, that's not true. That's a myth again.
Can having hepatitis A infection or E infection cause cirrhosis in future?
So there are no data on hepatitis A and E causing cirrhosis. Yes, there are some data if a liver transplant patient gets an hepatitis E infection. These patients can sometimes go into chronic hepatitis, but that is a very, very rare group of patients. And there are hardly around 20 cases reported. So for all technical purposes, the message should be A and E never lasts in your body for more than 6 months.
Should I test for other infections if I have hepatitis A and E?
Yes, obviously, you can definitely have other infection parallelly. So we have many patients, sometimes we think it is hepatitis A. The virus is there in the body. After 3-4 months, the jaundice is not coming down. That is a point where we see for other viruses as well as some other causes of hepatitis. A person may have two diseases parallelly.
Should I be worried about prolonged jaundice if I have a hepatitis A infection?
Hepatitis A with prolonged jaundice is known to happen in around 15% of patients. So I would not be worried till around 6 months' time. But that is where a lot of patience is required, because to convince the patient not to worry is the biggest headache.
Do you suggest exercise when I have a viral hepatitis infection?
Yes, you can still exercise. But the thing is that in the acute phase, just like in any viral disease, you need rest. Yeah. Rest is very important, because hepatitis A can sometimes come down and start again. That is called a relapsing type of hepatitis A. So it's better to take rest till your liver enzymes have settled and your jaundice have come down to a bit of existing pre-jaundice levels, or maybe around 2 or 3 is what I put as a cutoff.
How long would you recommend the rest?
It is usually for 6 weeks.
Can I lift weights in that period?
No, absolutely not at that time. Because if you lift weight, your muscles also release SGOT. So the liver enzymes may start rising. And that time you might have a false belief that your jaundice has come back. 20th July is a day where we celebrate World Hepatitis Day. This year the theme is Let's Break It Down, which means we need to break down the barriers between the patient and treatment and detection of hepatitis B.
I would like to emphasize the importance of prevention and vaccination and treatment. In this era of advanced medical technology and treatment options, testing and vaccination are of utmost importance. So, I would urge all the practitioners, patients, families, and various other colleagues to test yourself for hepatitis, and if you are negative, to vaccinate for hepatitis B.
We at AIG Hospitals are committed to this cause, and we try to convince our patients who attend our clinic to get tested for the virus and also promote hepatitis B vaccination in people who are willing to take, so that we can achieve the goal of WHO to eradicate and eliminate hepatitis virus by 2030.